On October 20th, 1928, a pair of newlyweds from Idaho set off from Green River, Wyoming, in a large rectangular wooden box to follow the route of John Wesley Powell. Their unusual craft, which they christened Rain in the Face, was a sweep boat, a type used on streams and rivers that have a consistent moderate gradient. Glen Hyde was experienced with such boats on rivers in Idaho. The boatman, in this case Glen, stands in the middle while grasping the handles of long oar-like sweeps. One goes out the bow, the other over the stern. The sweeps are primarily for steering the boat, not propulsion. Glen and his young bride Bessie had dreamed up this trip as part of their honeymoon. If they succeeded, Bessie would be the first woman to venture down the Green and Colorado rivers, including a descent through the Grand Canyon. The Hydes planned to write a book about their adventure and also go on the Eastern Lecture Circuit. A bright, prosperous future looked promising. For miles the river flowed slowly and the sweeps were useless as oars. Glen could only try to stay out of back eddies and keep in the current. Then came the canyons and their rapids. Most of the rapids on the Green and Colorado are short but steep drops, full of huge waves, big rocks, and holes ready to swallow you up. The faster current helped propel the boat downstream, but by the time it picked up enough momentum so that the sweeps could be used for maneuvering, another boulder or angry wave loomed. When the blade of one of the sweeps was caught by a wave or rock, the leverage was too great for Glen to push against it. It was either hang on and get tossed out of the boat, or duck out of the way before the handle crushed his ribs or skull. Each rapid was a wild, terrifying, out-of-control ride. Amazingly, 26 days later, they reached the inner gorge of the Grand Canyon and the foot of the Bright Angel Trail. Time for a little R&R. They hiked out to the South Rim, where they eventually met Emery Kolb, who, along with his brother Ellsworth, had completed their own Colorado River trip in 1911-12. Emery was no doubt surprised at this young couple's naivete when it came to running the Colorado. They declined Emery's offer of using his and Ellsworth's life jackets, Glen boasting that he and Bessie were good swimmers. Emery was surprised at their lack of preparation and took a dislike to Glen. After a few days of rest, the Hydes were ready to return to the river. Although their boat was discovered some weeks later in western Grand Canyon, still upright and containing their camping gear, Glen's camera, and Bessie's enigmatic diary, the young couple was never seen again. Their fate is still debated among river historians.